Republicans, Democrats, and voters of other party affiliations are choosing their representatives today. Good evening. It's primary election day, Tuesday, April 3rd. I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. Well, for many voters that hit the polls in today's primary, it's more than just a race for a GOP presidential candidate. Plans to address school boundaries and tight budgets are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to issues affecting Prince George's. With candidates vying for seats on the school board and the U.S. Senate, many residents say it's local politics that got them to the polls. Tahira Lindsay is in Largo with more.
It's voting day here in the state, and county residents are pouring into polling stations like this one here on 202. And while there's a lot at stake on the county and state level, many of these residents say they simply want their voices heard.
Well, I vote all the time, and I thought it was important because I'm a Democrat. So I kind of want to make sure that my voice is heard.
I think this is a very important year for all people, for what's happening to this nation. It's important that your voice be heard. It's important that you become active, take part of what's happening in our country.
The purpose of primary elections is to make sure that the right person is in the position you want them to be, and to be able to help you in making decisions for the county and something that will affect you in the future.
I think that when we look at the marriage issue, whether or not marriage is between one man and one woman, that's clear to me, and I think that's important for me to get out and vote for people who's going to do what I believe is right.
Employment, a lot of people are unemployed, as well as home foreclosures. So most of the elected officials are doing something great.
Big ticket items on the ballot. You have C. Anthony Muse running against current State Senator Ben Cardin. There are also 5 school board seats up for grabs. For now, I'm Tahira Lindsay in Largo. We'll have the latest on the election details right here on CTV News. Back to you in the studio.
And county residents will also help select candidates to represent Maryland's 4th and 5th districts in the House of Representatives. The general election will be held on Tuesday, November 6th. Well, there is just 1 week left in the General Assembly session in Annapolis, and lawmakers have a lot on their plate. Today, the House Ways and Means Committee hears testimony on whether to expand slots in Prince George's. County Executive Rashawn Baker wants to build a $1 billion casino at National Harbor, but some opponents are worried that the new casino would take business away from Arundel Mills, where slots were recently put in.
The people we're bringing into our site won't be from Maryland. The majority of them will come from outside of the state. So if you're from Maryland and you want to go to Baltimore City or to Arundel Mills, you still can. So those sites have the opportunity to make money. What we're building in the county is a resort destination, which will have entertainment, which will have restaurants, high-end shopping.
If approved by the General Assembly, the proposal would go to referendum in November. The measure was approved by the Senate last week. Well, as police continue to look for suspects in a number of shootings that happened over the weekend, we talked with Councilwoman Karen Tolles about a bill she's introduced to crack down on gun crimes. There were 7 shootings starting on Friday evening. They range from drug-related disputes to domestic violence incidents. Tolles says her bill would create a registry to keep track of criminals who use guns.
This is a gun registry unit to say that if you have been convicted of a nonviolent gun crime, which is basically using it for force or to intimidate someone, that'd be 3 years. 5 years if you have been convicted of a gun-related crime, such as attempted robbery, armed jack robbery, homicides, and that is in addition to your jail time.
The police department is expected to release an anti-crime initiative on April 18th that focuses on the summer months when kids are out of school. Well, unfortunately, the county leads the state in biker pedestrian deaths. That's why Council Vice Chair Eric Olson is co-sponsoring a bill to improve safety on the roadways. It focuses on extending the sidewalk connections that meet with the flow of traffic. The council is also looking at changing the zoning requirements for tattoo shops. The measure would redefine them from specialty stores so they would be allowed in larger commercial districts. Well, a couple is dead tonight after an apparent murder-suicide in Capitol Heights. Police say a relative arrived at a home in the 1000 block of Nyanga Avenue early this morning to find her aunt and uncle suffering from gunshot wounds. The aunt has been identified as 52-year-old Marilyn Mace. It's believed that her husband, 53-year-old Dennis Mace, shot her before turning the gun on himself. An 18-year-old Temple Hills man is wanted in connection with one of this weekend's shootings. Kayan Hudson allegedly shot a man while trying to rob him on Afton Street in Temple Hills on Sunday. He's facing an attempted first-degree murder charge. 5 people were killed in unrelated incidents over the weekend. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.